for joining us. Just a quick look here at these little boticos that we were working on in the last clips. They are now outside here drying in the sun. So yeah, I've done a variety of different decorations here on the tops of the handles, and in some cases I've added a little button there, as it were. So that's those guys. Meanwhile, back in here, I am going to be attempting to throw something a bit bigger. So join me for that. Yeah. I've thrown a pad here, as you can see, on the wheel, because this wheel head does not have any bat pins. So we'll just take one of these bats, put it on there, just center him up. That'll do. That's good. Okay, make sure I've got my tools here. So that's 7 pounds of clay. At least I think it is. Yep. 7 pounds. So, are we in the picture? Are we in the picture? Okay, you can sit back, relax, and watch me struggle with this. Yeah, it's good to stretch yourself a little bit once in a while, isn't it? And when you're on a kick wheel like this, it's when you're getting up there with a few bit more pounds than the usual, it's a little bit more of an effort to start with than an electric wheel, but it's better at the end because you get much better control. So it's going to bring this clay up. Yeah, you don't want to be have clay that is too stiff. Ah, lovely stuff, clay. Yeah, I just sort of felt like I wanted to throw a sort of jar, you know, something bigger than what I usually do, so I can make a fool of myself. So what I generally do is, with a bigger lump of clay, where's my needle gone? Where's my needle gone? That's alright, I can pretty much judge it. What I was looking for was my needle tool, so I could just put in stick it in, you know, and give me an indication of the thickness through the base. But I think we're going to be okay. Keeping it in at the top there a bit. Knuckle lift. For a larger amount of clay, probably a good idea. Now I'm lifting, don't quite lift to the top though. Just leave that there. I've been working over there on that little electric wheel. I made those boticos out there on that. It's a sense of relief, quite frankly, to get back to a wheel that I feel more in control of. With myself being the motor, I feel much more in control and much more connected to the clay. You don't feel connected to the clay with an electric wheel. It's the worst thing that they ever invented was the electric potter's wheel, let me tell you. Okay, so let's get down here now. Let's get under this clay and let's get it up there. Up you come on then. Notice the throwing bulge there. That's where my inside fingers are placed, you see. When you see that bulge, when you see that bulge coming up, that's where my inside fingers are, you see, because that's where they're pushing out from the inside. So firstly, what you want to do is push in, you see, like that. You see, so I've pushed in from the outside here, and on the inside, where that bulge is, that's where my inside fingers are, you see. So give yourself enough water, because we want to lift all the way without interruption. So now, getting underneath the clay, let that clay flow through between your fingers like that. Bring it on up. Okay, leave that little bit there at the top. Okay. Put your web of your fingers there like that. That's the World Wide Web. Okay, pushing in a bit there. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to lift it, but I'm going to broaden it and form it a little bit. You notice my wheel is not going very fast. Don't need a lot of wheel speed, you know. Speed kills. Yeah. Okay. Speed kills. Oops. We're in the picture. Yeah, more or less. More or less. So now, that's it. I don't think I'm going to lift anymore. I'm weak, tired. No, actually, that wasn't too bad, was it? We got it up there. So I'm just going to do a little bit of clean up down the bottom there. Yeah. Not going to touch it up too much. I want it to be, I want the pot to see the rigor and vigor, the rigor and vigor of the, you know, the lift, and I don't want to come back now and sort of start. I want the pot to be, sorry, I don't want to get poetic. I want the pot to see, sort of, to be seen a little bit of the struggle in the lift of the clay, and I don't want to come back to it and start trying to make it all look pretty, you know. I want to leave it just, yeah, something like that. I'll put in a bevel down there. That's it. Okie dokie. Let's just have a little. Yeah. I think just there actually. Just there. I just want to. Let's take the camera off and looking for a nice full form. And you noticed as I threw it, when I was doing the lifts, I wasn't lifting it all the way to the very top. Just stop half an inch below, and that'll allow the clay here on the top to bunch up and remain a little bit more generous. If you do that, when the pot is finished, the pot will stand stronger and more generous looking at the top. Also, having a nice bit more of a thicker rim here, that will hold the form of the rest of of the rest of the pot. Now if I'd thrown that and left it rather thin and flimsy at the top, the rest of the pot would have been thin and flimsy, and it would have gone like this. It would have got a nice little wave going in as I was throwing, a little buckle, and then it probably would have collapsed. So down inside there. Hello. Hey folks, thanks for joining us. Thanks for joining us indeed. Yep. Doing big pots is the same as doing small pots, and really what you want to do is work up a bit gradually. Don't go from making 1 pound pots to a 7 or an 8 or a 9 or a 10 pound pot. You probably will struggle. It's probably better just to work up in increments. You know, get confident with 1 and 2 pounds, then jump up to 4 and 5, and maybe, you know, and then 6, you know, add a few pounds as you go, and you'll get more confident. I threw one earlier on. This is one I threw earlier, same amount of clay. And I'm just going to put it there so you can see. So that was the first one I did, you see, and the second one I did, you see, I got more out of the clay, and that's what happens. That is exactly what happens. So you get better through practicing. I've said it once, I've said it twice, I know. But you get better through practicing. And if I was to throw more like this, which I may do, then I may even get them a bit bigger. Obviously you'll get to a point where you won't want to get them any bigger because they'll be just okay. So, alright, thanks for joining us. Please go to my website, simonleachpottery.com. If you're interested in a workshop, yeah, we've got workshops. We've got one 24th, 25th, I think, of July, and then into August, September, October, even November. So look on my website and check. And I'm working hard towards a firing. I want to get a firing in, actually. What are we today? Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I'm hoping maybe by Friday I can get a firing in. I want to get those boticos dry, because being raw, they're going to be raw fired. Those boticos, I'm not going to bisque fire them because I don't have access to a bisque kiln at the minute. I'm just going to fire them up to stoneware temperature. I'll put a lot of wood ash over them, and I think they'll look quite nice, even if they aren't bisque fired. Okay, thanks folks. See you in the next video. Keep practicing. Keep practicing, carry on practicing. Yeah. Bye-bye.